All right, thanks for coming. A couple quick comments and certainly answer your questions for you. Champions for the Indiana game. On offense, four receivers played really well. They were challenged about their perimeter blocking, and it was the best we had this year. And that helped on some of Zeke's runs. So Michael Thomas, Braxton Miller, Corey Smith, who we lost for the rest of the season. He had a similar injury to Noah Brown. And one of my favorite players, a guy that's been through a lot in his life, and certainly a lot here. But my heart bleeds for that guy, and so does the rest of our team. I mean, a great kid that really spills it, was on all special teams for us, played really, really hard. So from what I understand, there's a chance that we can get one more year back. We're going to, see what happens. So that's Corey Smith. Dontre Wilson was back full speed and played one of his best games. Performance-wise, he didn't touch the ball as much, but his effort and blocking, and it was exceptional. Offense line, you had two players, Billy Price and Pat Elflein. Graded champion and player of the game was Ezekiel Elliott, and played outstanding for us. He's obviously the yards, and I say it each week, he's from pass protection to downfield blocking, exceptional. Indiana, let's see here, defense, you had Joey Bosa, Tommy Shutt, Von Bell, Garyon Conley, Josh Perry, Raekwon McMillan, who we had to take out of the game for a little bit. He had a migraine, but he's fine today. Yesterday he was fine. Darren Lee. And then players of the game, co-players of the game, Tyquan Lewis had 11 tackles, and Adolphus Washington had 12 tackles. By the way, Raekwon McMillan had 16. Special teams, pretty dominant effort. Kickoff team was outstanding. Punt team, I think kickoff and punt, we lead the Big Ten. Missed a field goal, 40-plus yarder. And but punt return was a game. I think 3 times gave the ball to the offense on the plus side of the 50. And the guys that played well there are, see here, Eric Smith played well. Von Bell played well. Jalen Marshall, we give a Thursday Race Award to Eric Smith just for his effort. And then the black shirt, who were the player of the game in special teams, was Joe Berger. Obviously stopped a fake punt for us, and a very important guy on punt block and KOR. So a big win, 5-0 is best thing about 5-0 is a chance to go 6-0, a chance to keep getting better. 2 areas of strength in the past are not strength right now. We're hitting that really, really hard, and that's turnovers and that's red zone production. So those are 2 areas we're going to beat it like it's never been beat before, and try to get better, because that's costing us a lot of. You're getting 500-plus yard days, and we're not. That's not transitioning to what should happen in a game like that. Defense, they eliminated their tailback, eliminated their quarterback, and then that athletic guy got in there and hurt us a little bit. Obviously, a big hit was a missed tackle and missed leverage. But overall, attitudes are good. Guys are running around yesterday, a chance to get better. And I think college football teaches us all each week is you better show up and you better play each week, or you're in a dogfight. Everybody has scholarship players, and they have good players. And we certainly respect that around here, and we're going to keep getting better. So with that said, I'll answer your questions for you.
Front row middle, Dave.
As you analyze the film, Coach, how did Cardale grade out?
Obviously not a champion. When you turn the ball over, it's hard to grade a champion. He had his best week of practice. He had a decent day. If he threw almost 70% completion rate, we misfired on 3 in a row, which is just awful. And it's not just him, it's just the timing of the wideouts and quarterbacks. And I've addressed that. And but if you hit 3 of those passes, you're over 70% completion rate. And obviously the one pick was not inexcusable. And but he's getting better. He had one of his better days.
There are issues on 3rd down as well. It seems like this year, you 2 of 14 this past game. What are you seeing on 3rd down? What's the biggest problem on 3rd down?
Timing and execution of the quarterback wideouts. And yeah, it hasn't been our strength. Last year, one of the top teams in the country with it.
Second row left, Ari.
Over the summer, I heard you speaking at a coaching clinic, and you told the coaches that were there that in the recruiting game, you always take the most talented player available, and you never sacrifice talent for scheme, because it's easier to scheme around a player than with talent. When did you land on that philosophy? How did you learn that, and why do you do it that way?
Oh, because I think scheme's overrated. I think competitive spirit, human spirit, and obviously ability are overrule all that. And I think it's comical when I hear say, well, it doesn't fit our system. Well, change your system. I think I give credit to our offensive staff. We got here and there was no H-backs. We had a big tailback and a couple tight ends and a fullback, and you went 12-0, and we didn't complain about it. Didn't say, well, we don't have this, and so you adapt your schemes. And I think that's, in my opinion, the good, coordinators and those type of guys do a very good job of that. And find out what you got and do it, and don't, well, he doesn't fit. That's make him fit. And we'll always take the better player and then find a way to make him fit. We there for years, never had a tight end. For some reason, I'm going back thinking, why the hell we did that? But at Bowling Green, didn't really have a tight end. Utah, and so we started playing with tight ends. We got good ones, so that's why.
That recruiting philosophy, is it easier, harder, different at a place like Ohio State than it might be for another coach in another conference or another program that might not be recruiting at the level that you guys are to carry it?
No, I think it's actually, at a place like Bowling Green or Utah, you take your best available athlete you get your hands on and mold around what you can do with it. So I think it's the opposite. I think you have to take, I remember the days at BG and at Utah, that kid could run, that kid could play. We're going to take him and find out what he can do after that, or find out how you build around him. Like a real little guy that's fast as and then build around him.
Front row, Bill.
When you watch the tape, do you see a team that is really, really close to being great?
I did this time. Good question, Bill. I think, I was disappointed in perimeter. The secret, or not the secret, the foundation of our offense, control line of scrimmage. Do we do that? Yes. Perimeter blocking, yes, our guys did an excellent job. And hit the downfield play action pass. Okay, we had a couple downfield shots we hit. Mike Thomas and Jalen Marshall off the top of my head. But the foundation is also turnovers and stupid penalties. We score and we chop a guy. Just there's some backbreak. And same on defense. We had 6 penalties, I think, on defense. So it's very close. I don't like to use the term great because I don't know. That's all relative to, usually I don't say great because what's that mean? Improvement and very efficient. When you have the penalties and turnovers, that stops efficiency. So I think we're on the border of being very good.
And you mentioned the red zone. You're 6 of 16 scoring touchdowns. What's the problem?
Oh, variety. I just gave you a couple of them. Turnovers and penalties. Zeke Elliott goes in the end zone. We get a call back, and I think we missed a field goal on that one. So there's not one problem. It's a variety of problems.
Far right, Blake.
Rightly or wrongly, every team's going to be judged by last year's team, the way they were galvanized. Does that take a whole season to build to that point? Is this team, are they there? Do they have that potential of chemistry, of singleness, of purpose?
Oh, really good question, Clay. I don't know yet. I love these guys. I mean, as far as the indicators that there is an issue, that was one of the hardest we played in the last 2 years this past week. And I didn't say we played perfect, didn't say we played efficiently or actually smart when you have stupid penalties and you're in a -3 in the turnover ratio, but those things are fixable. When you start getting effort and attitude, the things you just mentioned, that's when that's where red flags start showing up, and I don't feel that at all. And I watch for that like a hawk because I've seen that infiltrate a team before, and it's, we see it across the country all the time. And we've seen it happen here, in 2000, whatever it was, 2013, that was not a great team. A bunch of very good players and won a bunch of games, but it was not a great team. This one has the characteristics of having a great team. Last year's obviously was a great team. 2012, great team. I didn't say exceptional skill everywhere, but great team.
Far left, Matt.
What changed with the running game in the second half? Because you were kind of stagnant, and then Zeke obviously breaks the big ones. But was there a scheme change, or
a little bit? We went to gap scheme, a little bit more downhill. I think every one he hit, the 3 big ones he hit, were all gap schemes where he came down there doing some movement. Anytime you get movement, you try to wash them down, and our offense line did a good job, and obviously Zeke's so talented, he came out the other end, a couple of them, and once he does, I don't know if anybody can catch that guy.
Also want to ask, one of the things you've done well, especially last year, is get off to quick starts. 14, 21, nothing. And what are you seeing that's stopping that this year? You've had a couple of good first drives this year.
Nothing like what we expect or what we shoot for. I think very similar to Bill's question, what's the problem in the red zone? What's the problem in that? The first call, I'll take that. We lose 15 yards on the first darn call of the game. That's my fault. I just wanted to get Braxton a touch and try to get him to the field, and they blitz the corner. So same issues. I think the term is efficiency. If it was effort, which I thought at times in the first couple games, just our perimeter blocking wasn't there. And I didn't feel that at all. It's just efficiency and making things happen and someone creating a big play. So those are all things that you're mentioning or things that are being emphasized. And we've been, I think we're second in rushing, second in scoring offense right now, and we still don't feel like we're doing our jobs. And that's pretty good expectations.
Front row right, Tim.
Yeah, Urban, a couple things. Number one, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what happened with Curtis Samuel on Saturday. He
didn't practice this week. He had back spasms, okay. But he feels better now. He didn't practice all week. And he played a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Okay, that's cleared up. And then number two, when you look at Von Bell right now, is he playing on, what level is he playing on? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, he's playing extremely well, I guess.
Well, I've been fortunate to have some great safeties. He's one of the top 3 or 4 I've ever been around, and he's an excellent tackler. He did lose leverage on the one play that went out, but he's playing very well. That quarterback for theirs, I was so involved with the other side, I looked and, I saw him out there playing, and he threw that ball right on the dime right at the end of the game, and Von Bell knocked it out right on the dime. And so Von's playing to answer your question, playing a very, very high level.
And the other thing, again, an offense, you've spoken many times about how big plays are part and parcel to what y'all want to do and stuff. Can you live on big plays? I mean, what's your thought now as you look at the first?
Well, I think everybody's looking for exceptional, and we were very fortunate here the last couple of years to break a multitudes of school records. And if you evaluate how that happened, it all starts with what I talked about: the offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage. Then the perimeter blocking around here the last couple of years has been outstanding, from Carlos Hyde to Zeke Elliott to Braxton Miller and those are all a result of, you're going to make one miss, you can't make 3 or 4 miss. Perimeter blocking, and then the downfield hits we've had. We're getting a few of them, not near the extent that we'd like, and that's a play-action pass game. And when those 3 things are in unison, if they're all working together, then we're probably talking about something else right now.
Front row right, Austin.
Urban, you had already taken Evan Spencer and Devin Smith out of the equation. Now you have Noah Brown and Corey Smith on the shelf. Torrance Gibson has been hurt. Andre Wilson has had some foot injuries. What do you see when you look at your wide receiver unit right now?
Well, I saw 4 guys that graded out champions, and we just lost one guy. I think we get Paris Campbell back this week. I see another group of kids: James Clark, Terry McLaurin, and Paris Campbell, who are our gunners, which are they're treated with reverence around here. The gunners on our kickoff and punt team. That's why we're so good at it, because they're fast and tough guys. So I see a group that's getting better. I see a group that's not where we want to be, and the time in between the quarterback and receivers is not where it needs to be right now.
You referenced 2 things with Braxton: the chop block, and then the first play of the game. Is it difficult to manage him right now?
No. It's I want it more as bad or more than he does. We gave him 2 touches. One was a counter, and went for 15, 16 yards, and then one was the push to start the game. And then he's in there. He played 30 plays, and we can't direct it. The defense directs where the ball goes. You can't say throw it to him. You just can't do that, because what if him's covered? So, yeah, no, it's not. It's frustrating that he graded a champion. The Virginia Tech game, he did not. So think about that. So, I mean, the individual effort was outstanding. He did touch the ball, but he had so many mistakes. They were blocking, and offensive football is not a one-man show. It's 11 guys getting their jobs done. So the positive, he's heading that direction to be a full-time receiver.
Front left, Doug.
Urban, ideally in your offense, how would you like the quarterback run game to work? And are you okay with where things are right now? Obviously, it seems to be a little different when Cardale's in there. Are you okay with that?
The quarterback run game obviously depends on who that quarterback is. You know, we've had Alex Smith. We didn't use him a ton, but he had some yards. Josh Harris, we used him extensively. So I'm just giving you a quick history of Josh Harris, Alex Smith, Chris Leak, not much at all. Tim Tebow a lot, Braxton Miller a lot, and then Kenny Guyton not much, and JT a lot. And then Cardale not much at all. So you'd like to have that. The threat of that cleans up defenses for you. That's the extra component that you have in an offense. We haven't really done much at all of that this year. Obviously, Cardale's not that type of player. He's a very good runner, but he's more of a scrambler than he is quarterback counter, quarterback power, those type of things. So we're not where we need to be, but we're not heavy on that right now.
So in picking Cardale, you were okay. JT, if you would have picked JT, I'm sure would do more of that. That's the decision that went into that. You're okay.
Well, I think it's like the question you might have asked earlier. Do you just take the guy for scheme, or do you take the best guy at the time, and do you take the best guy and build around what he can do?
And we've asked a lot about Braxton but you've said that Dontre is coming on a little bit and playing better. You've said good things about Curtis, and if he gets back to health, you know, Braxton had the block that took back the touchdown. He didn't do much when he got the ball in his hands. Does he still deserve a lot of playing time, or do Dontre and Curtis and guys?
No,
like
he touched it twice, and we got to get him more touches. I mean, the direct touches that he can do. He almost came out of one 14, 15-yard gain, and the other one was just a bad call by me. But no, he deserves touches. He's an electric player with the ball in his hand. We just have not got him loose last couple games.
So you said he was a champion, so things he was blocking and doing.
Blocked
What
his
was he
tail off.
doing that made him a champion?
Yeah, effort and blocking. Played 30 plays. Played, yes, 30 plays and graded out 85%. That means a lot. Some of those runs, maybe I can't off the top of my head think, but some of the hits in that were because of his effort.
And final questions, back row middle, Steve.
Yeah, Coach, you have some experience, obviously, at Florida with a goal line specialist type quarterback. Given, I don't know if this past week was a pattern or if it's just an anomaly, but would you ever consider putting JT in to be the red zone guy? He had very good success in that role last year.
That's a good point. We've thought about it, and we have had that conversation. At this time, we haven't made any decisions on that right now.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.